Shalom, shalom. Salakia. That's my fault. What I did was confuse a couple of videos because I've been watching the videos and getting different. I was gonna do basically videos on different topics out of his different videos, but I kind of mixed up the video. So this video though, Satan busy. This video though is one of the videos I want to do a video on. So, without further ado, back into the video.
Every course I've ever done on real estate, including every course on real estate I do in the future, all for one price, including monthly group coaching calls for next June. So, when we talked about the government having $1 trillion they built up and they printed out of thin air in 100 days, this is where we're at now. The U.S. national debt has increased by $473 billion over the last 3 weeks. It now stands at $35.8 trillion. That's now $103,700 of debt for every American. Not every.
And he's gonna make a little pun intended to the migrants. Now again, like I say, brother that's in the cap, the Cleveland cap, brother Ashiar, is going into Project Zypher. Pretty much you got these individuals that's supposed to be like truthers. Yet they really collecting data and information for the government. Pretty much like what your Facebook and your X account, formerly Twitter, is doing. Where you got your boy Musk making it seem like he all for the people. Say what you feel and and all that, but really all that information is being pretty much sent to the government. It's not a coincidence at this time with all this going on. You pretty much got Trump talking about these internment camps, and if you don't think that some of these pink people, because brothers in the Brotherhood know about that video that the elder Yashawama did, where you got the Edomite chick. And you talking about the Japanese internment camps and whatnot, but at the end of the day, that's gonna be to any dissident. So he was going into the debt. Let me get that. In the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. Book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads. I can't stand when this shit is. It says, Habakkuk 2 and verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I'm reproved. And, I was listening to the elder Mwatazak from Ancient of Days, and he was going into how, the tower, the modern day tower is these, these smartphones, because this is where we're getting, the different information that we're bringing out. For the majority, the most part, the Lord works through brothers. The Lord sometimes gives you something, inspire you to do a lesson on something through the Spirit, that may be set up for a particular brother or a topic that needs to be addressed, But for the most part, brothers is looking at the news and looking at the things that's going on in the world, and we're standing on that tower and watching from these, these smartphones. Verse 2, and the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that read of it, which the vision goes into the prophecies. You got a particular prophecy that's going, like I brought out in Genesis chapter 47. I mean, this is a part 2 to this lesson, but, Genesis 47 said the money shall fail. And we watch it, pretty much the money decline and pretty much about to fail. And inevitably it's going to fail because that's what they want to bring about, because they want to bring in a new currency. Like the brother Yaquam from the Cleveland cap always go into, currency pretty much just means, what's current. Currency is not a form of money or riches. It's what they're using, is the current thing they're using to barter with. That's all. And eventually the currency will be a digital dollar, That's why they'll have to pretty much mandate a CHIP or a charagma. Verse 3, it says, for the vision, again, the prophecy is yet for a appointed time, which we talk about is multiple prophecies, but we only waiting on a few right now. We waiting on that mandatory implementation of that CHIP, and we waiting on that World War III. The money shall fail. That's part of prophecies. I mean, there's many prophecies, but, it's only a few major ones that we're pretty much standing on our watch waiting on. It says, for the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, because, sometimes it seems like they start back up, meaning the prophecies. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come in without tarry. Verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Whose soul is that? That's Esau Edom's, the so-called white man. Scriptures talk about scriptures talk about who can make straight what the Most High made crooked. This man was set up to be the wicked on the planet Earth. It says, because his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, meaning his wine, which is his philosophies. His doctrine, neither keepeth at home. Look at what's going on in the Middle East right now between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Who enlargeth his desires hell, because he cannot be satisfied. He's as deaf. He's enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. He wants everybody to follow his way, his rule. Against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. When you go into that word clay, it's the Hebrew word abatya, and basically breaks down to heavy debts, which the United States dollar is pretty much a debt note, So, and pretty much everybody's caught up in the debt note. That's pretty much going to be a snare to everybody. You got people believing and trusting in this dollar. You got people trusting in a piece of paper more than gold. That's something that's stood the test of time for generations and centuries. That show you how it's really heavy enchantments and witchcraft going here. That just show you how Satan working. That bitch was just staring at me like just Satan is busy. He really is. Salakia. But it's just funny to me, like Satan been trying to get at me all day. Anya Garko Shata Bashim Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bashim. And that's spiritual, because I literally had to do that. I should have did it in my mind. But I'm just like really tripping on like all day Satan been fucking with me. Back into this video.
Not every immigrant, not every illegal immigrant, but this is to show you right now, right before the election, what they are doing to print and forgive people's student debt, to pay for illegal immigrants to be here.
I had a question that, how are they going to afford to really forgive your debt when they in debt? They didn't even have enough money to help the victims of those tempests in North Carolina, and I'm not sure for Florida. It kind of offended me and these Babylonians, but I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's like, how the Spirit of the Lord come on you. What I mean? Like, so it's like, I was like, oh, that's crazy. What I mean? So just imagine what they got for a nigga. They did that to their own kind. But most of that debt they forgiven is for people that work for the government. What I mean? Like, that's what it is for it. You have to have a vested interest in this place.
Illegal illegally to work in factories and have lots of money put on their EBT cards, to fund social programs that are designed to get people to vote the government's way. And when I'm talking about the government, I'm talking about a machine, all right? And what it is a money printing machine. So this is a chart going back to October of 2023, exactly a year. Look at the money printing that's been going on, but this is what you need to realize. This spike right here prior to the election. And you know where a lot of that's going, I believe? It's going to pay Google, Facebook, all kinds of platforms to advertise for specific ways to vote yourself prosperity. That's my...
And the thing is, again, like the elder brother just brought out, the brother Mwatazak from Ancient of Days, the head of that camp, was going into, you know what I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, you trying to vote for either one of them, you ain't supposed to be voting for none of them. You know, but the vote, that voting is heavy enchantments, you know what I mean? It's heavy enchantments involved with the voting because of the fact, you know, I did a video on it. Like, voting is like a ritual, you know what I mean? And that's probably why Jake is so caught up in it, as well as everybody else, you know. I remember the year when Obama was running, and I'd never vote. You know, I've probably voted twice within my whole lifetime of being able to vote. And one of them was with Obama. And after I voted, me and this female that I used to fuck with, we both was like, damn, we felt like we shouldn't even did it.
Personal opinion. Now, we're going to go over these stories, but as I'm going over the stories, I want you to think of all the money that was just printed. Almost $500 billion in less than a month, okay? To get you to believe something that is not true. This is absolutely not a joke. And I want to ask you this. Type 1 if you've been getting ready for this. I ask this question a lot, but people that are new to the channel, and I thank everybody the channel's been exploding.
I'm just waiting for the part where he said, because pretty much he said $500 billion within 3 weeks. So he pretty much said it's going to take, they're going to be having to, because like I said, it's unsustainable. So like, you know, you can't keep at this rate, you know, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is just, that's what they keep on, they use the terms of kicking the can down the road. Like, he said pretty much it's going to go to them having to print $1 trillion a month. To the point of, you know, what's her name? Lynette Zhang goes into that. To the point, that's how you know that this bitch is spiraling down the drain, about to be flushed or about to break, because of the simple fact, you know, they just print.
Lately, people subscribing, sharing the videos, signing up for the newsletters because they know that not everyone can even hit the thumbs up now on this channel for a specific reason. But type 1 if you've been getting ready for this. Type 2 if you think it's sort of selfish to prepare for a crash ahead because you'd be taking advantage of other people losing their...
And that's what I'm talking about. And then he tries to call himself quoting those scriptures, but that shows you that he has no understanding of the scriptures, because pretty much, you know, you know, like literally, the scriptures talk about, matter of fact, let me get this. It talks about the hour of temptation. I'm going to just quote it. The hour of temptation, when the whole world will be tried. Just because you think, the scriptures talk about in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, all small and great, rich or poor, free or bond. So even though, because he has a little substance, you know, doesn't mean, like, you going to have them celebrities that been around money all that. Look at the guy, Orlando Brown. You know, just to stay relevant, he doing freaky shit. You know what I mean? He up there kissing niggas on the hands and talking about he was at P. Diddy parties. You know what I mean? He just, like, because he's getting paid off of that shit. If Charleston White making money like that just for being controversial, what you think he getting?
Homes are losing their jobs. I want to hear from, there's some people that really believe that that's just a mad, mean thing to do. So then here's the question I have for you, because someone's going to type 2. Someone has that sympathetic ear, right? Type 3 if you would agree that you should be the one to prepare for this and take advantage of these losses instead of the government or a hedge fund. Because that's what they want to do. They want to make every single one of you a renter. They want to make every single one of you a slave, and they are slowly doing that. And
Scriptures say, not scriptures, the devil, Klaus Schwab say, you will own nothing and be happy.
if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. Shoot, throw me a fire emoji if that fires you up. So here's the stories. And I've got 3, and I believe them to be extremely important. So, there's so much going on. All right, jobless claims. This is what we've got going on right now. Continuing jobless claims jumped to 3-year highs. Now, we just came off of a day where the government said, hey, we screwed up. There's so many jobs, it's crazy. As a matter of fact, we're going to change the prior 2 months, and there's more jobs back then too. And I told you this was going to happen about 8 months ago. I said the Dems are going to lie through their teeth right before the election, say everything's great, Bidenomics worked, when they absolutely didn't. I just showed you a chart of the national debt exploding because of money being printed out of nowhere. But the government saying, oh no, this is great. Everything's great. Everything is awesome. Where they actually got caught.
Scriptures say a false balance is abomination to the Lord. The system is based off of, like you said, money just being printed. So, why do you think this place is going to prosper?
Last spring, lying and over-exaggerating by 800,000 new jobs that were never created. They were completely lies. It says initial jobless claims tumbled last week from 242 to 227 as the impact of Hurricane Helene starts to fade from the benefits rolls. It says here, as North Carolina claims fell back.
So, I don't remember saying fair use on this time. I think I did it on the first one. But fair use, copyright disclaimer. Not making any money off of this. I'm just lining up what he's saying with scriptures.
However, continuing jobless claims.
This isn't financial advice. This isn't any medical advice. This is just me taking the scriptures and mirroring it to things that this man is saying.
1.897 million Americans, which is the highest since November of 2021. Continuing jobless claims. And I want to remind you, if you stay unemployed for a while and you're still on that list of jobless claims, at a certain point, you just fall off. The government changed it to where you're like, nah, you know what? That person just doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to work. Yeah, sure, he's been unemployed for a long time. Let's just take him off because he's obviously too lazy to even keep applying. So you just take it off. Okay? And like I showed you in that chart of almost half a trillion dollars being printed in the last 3 weeks to hide all of this. And I've told you, I talk to people, I know it sounds crazy. I'm just a dude with a Brock and a dream, right? I drink cheap McDonald's coffees. I'm just an entrepreneur. I was just a firefighter for 26 years. What do I know, right? I started a YouTube channel. I want to work harder than anyone in this business. And the views explode, and all of a sudden people in high levels of not only the government, but in corporate America start contacting me. I vet who they are, and they're sharing things with me like, you will not believe what's happening. Our banks are being told by the Fed, do not take write-downs. You can't. We'll give you a lifeline. You gotta wait. We've gotta wait.
And this is not promotion for this man, but at the same time, make you infamous like us. At the end of the day, because scriptures talk about in the book of Luke, chapter 12. There's nothing that can be hid that won't come to the light. As much as they trying to hide this shit, the Lord is exposing it. Isaiah chapter 47, come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Pushing off the greatest collapse since the Great Depression till after this election. And the question is, are you going to get ready for this? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines and watch? Hey, I saw that crazy dude with the stupid hair talking about you should probably buy gold.
I'm going to leave it at that because then he was going into the guy that other guy was watching, but they call themselves friends. That's what I'm pretty sure he's talking about, but I could be wrong. I'm not always right. But I will say this. I know for a fact the other guys do be watching because they say too much stuff. He always talking about the doom and gloom and then it's over with. He's saying it sarcastically, but then you'll catch him saying it like, yeah, this shit bad. That's why he'll say on his channel like, oh, yeah, don't be in the cities. You know what I mean? Like, again, like I say, when you go into that Project Cypher, like, why do you think a lot of these, influencers or people with platforms, these different YouTubers, pretty much be telling you, oh yeah, give me a 1 if you say this or think that. Give me a 2 if you know what I mean? They categorizing everybody. It's shit crazy. But it's not though. It's all set up by the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's a crash coming. So I can't say when, you know, but you gotta understand that this is a financial system that they created. So they know how to manipulate it and all that. They can crash it when the fuck they want. That's the point. When they crash, you don't think that the people that's behind this fucked up ass system profit off of it? Every fucking time. Why do you think Warren Buffett is sitting on that big ass stack of cash? These economists will speak on that. Like this dude sitting on billions in cash. It's funny, Martha Stewart went to jail for selling stock, but certain people don't get touched at all. Because these devils, you know, they do understand that a man is over a woman. Right. So I'm going to get some scriptures. It's the book of Revelations. He said something about hyperinflation in the first video. He said it's going to be a period of hyperinflation. And people struggling now, so just imagine that. This is the book of Revelation chapter 6 and verse 6, and it reads, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. When you go into that word wheat, or when you go into that word penny, Salaki, when you go to that word penny, it's denarius. And when you break it down, it's basically a day's wage or day's pay for a Roman soldier. So it says, a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Oil and wine is his truth. You know, the truth and the understanding of the truth. You know, that denarius pretty much is going to take a day's wage to buy a loaf of bread. We already struggling with hyperinflation now. You know, I know people that got a household of 2 that's talking about damn. So just imagine individuals that got a household full of 7 or something like that. You know, I remember brothers that didn't have any children talk about they going to the store, bought 3-4 items, shit came up to $30. Like what? So just imagine hyperinflation when those same 3-4 items be $100. And with all this printing of money, that's what's gonna happen. The book of Ezekiel chapter 7. The point is verse 19, and it reads, they shall cast their silver and their they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. You know, the scriptures talk about, well, you know, in Esau's kingdom, he has Jake programmed to, they all about the bag, they care about everything, but, you know, they care about that money, they worship money more than anything else. Yeah. Scriptures, I keep saying the scriptures, Salaki, the money says in the God we trust. But what God is that? Because, you know, scriptures talk about mammon. Yeah. And I researched mammon when I was a lot younger. And mammon pretty much goes into a Babylonian deity. But, you know, it's about money. You know, and then you see our people, especially our people, 2/3 of our people, you know, Esau do it too, but our people worship money. But they not worshiping even real money. They worshiping paper. So it says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Scripture say in the book of Proverbs, riches profit not in the day of wrath. You know? But guess what saves? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, because when all that's removed, when all hell's out here on the planet being seen, when everybody put their time, especially 2/3 of our people, these niggas, put their time into chasing after, you know, this paper money and, you know, riches, what's going to really sustain you and be your foundation will be Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. which is the wisdom of knowledge, this truth. You know, that's the only thing that's going to give you the confidence and the hope to be able to persevere through the times that's coming. Because we've seen bad times, we've heard about bad times, but nobody can imagine the bad times that's coming. And the Lord going to really have to have a spirit on that man and that woman and that family to be able to endure this. And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is his treasure. You know, and, you know, the elder did a video talking about happy and afraid at the same time. And I felt that lesson because it's all scriptural. You know, scriptures talk about fear not because we wasn't getting the spirit of fear. But when the scriptures talk about also about fear of the Lord, we persuade men. So we're going to be happy that the Lord doing it. We're going to be happy that it wasn't us, but we're going to be afraid, you know, at the same time. Imagine that, like the elder said. Just imagine that. Because, you know, you ever heard about Jim Belushi? You know, I remember I watching this shit called, what was that shit called? It was a DVD when I was a nigga about how niggas, hood to hood, and it was niggas going into different hoods, just filming niggas. And in Cali, them niggas are so bugged out, them niggas would do, they call it the Jim Belushi. They was doing cocaine and heroin at the same time, an upper and a downer. And then they basically ghost walk their car, have a car worth $30,000, $40,000, jump out the car and let that bitch ride by itself and just be geeked up following after the car. You know, there's a point I was bringing up with that, but the point is, our people trusting all that type shit. And ain't none of that's going to sustain you or save you in these days to come. This shit about to get really wicked. Like the elder did that video. Something wicked this way comes, you know. And that's a hell of a thing because you can feel it. Yeah. So this is the book of, back in Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 4. I'm going to start at verse 5. And it says, Ezekiel 7 and verse 5, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, power and evil, and the only evil, behold, is come. Verse 6, an end is come, the end is come. It watching for thee, behold, it is come. Skipping to verse 25, and it reads, instruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Because the Lord ain't saving no niggas. You know, he's only saving his elect. So may you, you know, all the men, the righteous men in this truth, doing the will and work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, yeah, I know we're praying for that salvation, you know. So, you know, pray that we be of that number because it's about to get wicked. So if you're so-called, and you know, the Lord going to, of course, protect you and your household if you are of that number. So with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Let's say double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith, with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquata, to the listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad. Shalom to the Israelites scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharali. Shalom.